looking at the landscape, and you're looking at the clients out there, what speaks to you? Like, what kind of clients really need to be identifying with governance, need to have a solution in play? Who are the clients who are the most vulnerable, do you think, right now? I mean, obviously everyone's vulnerable. What comes to mind?
Yeah, so top of mind, our customers who are in highly regulated industries, think healthcare, finance, banking, any government entities, any corporation that has personal identifiable information on their customers.
Yeah.
Basically, any organization that's regulated has a need for governance around identity. Now, the pain is not always there, right? Like you said earlier on, they may have a need, but they may be able to manage it in a spreadsheet because there's 6 employees. Now you have 600 employees, you can't manage that in a spreadsheet. Yeah, you can, but it's going to take
And just to be repetitive, you're talking HIPAA, SOX, Sarbanes-Oxley. You're talking, credit card transaction, PCI, ISO 9, and so forth. You're looking at any of those regulatory bodies that need to have information, something that is provable, some kind of method or practice to be able to show, yeah, this is how we set things up around here, and this is why we comply to these regulations and how we do it.
And especially the organizations that have experienced a breach, right? Those are the best customers for us because they experience a breach and all of a sudden their budget goes up and their timeline increases dramatically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Or if there's a breach within an industry, right? If a local fintech got attacked or there was a breach, all the other fintechs are going to start looking to fortify themselves and protect their identities.
That's true. That is 100% true. We recently helped out a client. It actually wasn't our client. It's one that we adopted from somebody else. But they had gone through a horrible compromise. And we were challenged with trying to help them qualify the behaviors forensically and putting that into reported formats. And as we were working through the exercise, obviously they didn't have the tool set that we're discussing, SailPoint. But you could see the just tremendous amounts of money that went into trying to reestablish behaviors, that went into trying to qualify where the obvious concerns were. And it was eye-opening. If nothing else can be said about SailPoint, it's this. SailPoint, in my opinion, provides you the ability to prepare yourself for those eventualities, to create an argument of success, to qualify how you want your organization run, and then enforce its processes. Be able to report on it as well. Am I off base? Or?
You're exactly on target.
Okay.
That's exactly the true benefit of SailPoint.
Yeah.
And again, whether you're managing employees, machines, or things, those identities need to be managed and controlled and governed.
Yeah, they really do, don't they?
So I heard a stat that 94% of all future breaches are going to come through identity. Right? People aren't, the bad guys aren't knocking on your door and trying to sneak in to your physical data center anymore, right? They're compromising the identity and the credentials of one of your employees.
Geez, I'm going to paint a dark picture here, and sometimes it's in some larger organizations, let's be honest, and it's an employee pretending they're another employee. Yeah. It's even more difficult.
It's a compromised credential. I actually heard another stat. 1 in 5 employees would be willing to sell their username and password at any point. 1 in 5 would be willing to sell their credentials, their corporate credentials, at any given point. I think the number was $1,500. 1 in 5. 20%. 20% of employees out there would sell their login credentials for a small sum of money.
Well, you'd hope there'd be enough loyalty within the organization that wouldn't happen, but I know, sadly, that would happen. In light of that last point, that's just another reason why SailPoint is so critical. It seems like less of a a good idea to have, and more like, hello, welcome to reality in America today for business. You need to have something.
You do. And again, imagine 20 years ago not having a firewall in your network.
Yeah, that's good too.
Identity is the new perimeter. We have to protect our perimeter.
Yeah, you do. Well, everybody, thank you again. We definitely appreciate Tim. Thanks again for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you again at our next CRNT Tech Talk.